Good afternoon and welcome to the next session of budget session. And I think almost all the announcements has come from the budget, and we need more clarity for further deep discussion on that. And almost we have covered certain sectors which are already announced. And overall, my view is I think so. The budget is a good budget, and they have covered almost all the sectors. And they have given more focus on reality infra than agri, than power sector, and they have already talked about the disinvestment. Then they are focusing on the PPP model, which will be better, I think so.
Exactly.
Then we'll go into individual sector wise analysis, which we have the research team panel here. Mr. Saji, Mr. Randu, and Mr. Manoj. Okay, we will discuss in detail.
Major, the budget was into the upliftment of the rural areas, their employments, and the skill development. That is what the budget is been talking about. And what we have seen is that even though the physical deficit is 4.1, they have increased to 4.50 basis point. Through that, exactly the major requirement that the budget the proposal is being put forward is to bring the maximum, to control the inflation, so that through the agriculture sectors what they can bring forward, allocation of certain funds for the irrigation purposes. If you ask how the corporate sectors has been benefited from this, probably it is a meager thing to say, but I think the 24/7 into power sectors has been a very good thing to be put forward, because in the power sectors where you said that the new initiatives for any organization to start up has been the tax holiday has been given from 5 years to 10 years. That's a really a good revenue opportunity for the power sectors. And the second thing is that the proper coal allocations will be done for all the for all the companies. So a proper coal allocation strategy will be put forward. And what we have been witnessing is that in overall the power sector has been showing a tremendous growth opportunity. If you check the script wise is also the companies like Tata Power, NTPC, Reliance Power, all those companies will be get benefited out of this move. And if you talk about the other sectors is like agriculture, for the irrigation purposes, and 1,000 crores has been put forward by the government. I think the scripts like Jain irrigations, this can be look forward. Fertilizers companies also being given a good subsidiary kind of things. And if you talk about the skill developments in the backward sectors, there has been universities, research centers, and horticulture development, skill development in the horticulture area has been set up. If you talk about the centers like Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana for the horticulture thing, and there are universities which have been set up in Rajasthan, and research centers has been set up in Assam and and Haryana. So there are a lot of initiatives which government has been taken for the upliftment of the backward community.
The main concern was that
that was the main concern, because the purpose of the government was to control the inflation.
Yes.
So if the inflation has been come down, at least if they can bring below 8%, the interest rate, the RBI can bring 50 basis point to the downside. Through that, exactly, the more fund will be coming to the market, which can really helpful for the manufacturing sectors, because either the government has been addressed to certain issues in the kind of service sector, as well as in the excise cutting the excise duties. Discretionary products will also have also been considered in this budget. And what we can see witnessing is that the food processing has been bring 10 to 6 percentage. Excise duty has been come down to 6 percentage, and if you talk about the footwear, which is where major our small scale industry is being dependent upon.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that
So
has also
that
has
affect
been
the liberty shoes,
liberty
liberty shoes, like relaxer footwear will get a benefit from
out of it.
excess duty.
So that is the major thing. So what we can analyze from this budget, as it's been seeing, is that the skill development is the major aspect what the government has given. Through skill development, how we can give more emphasis on the distributional activities, how we can curb the inflation, through that exactly how the economy can be developed. So that is the major things what we are seeing. On the infrastructure spaces also, I think there is a lot of importance has been given, especially in the road manufacturing.
Yes.
Road manufacturing, where you can look into the scripts like IRB Infra, Reliance Infra.
That is even rural as well as urban.
Exactly. There are 8,000 kilometer project has been put forward by the National Highway, where 37,500 crores has been put forward. Where the good part is that the government has been considering the underdeveloped states like Assam, the northeastern area, where exactly is also they have given more importance to it. That is a nutshell about the budget. If you talk about the physical deficit, I think there exactly we have made a 50 basis point high, but that cannot be that is not inevitable, because that was required by the government to take necessary steps.
Yes.
To at least to take the every industry to be considered, so that every part of the community can be considered for this budget. So I think you have to wait for this this financial year, because I think it is a commending thing, I think.
And also the market has reacted very positively.
Exactly, correct.
Yeah.
After the budget.
After the budget,
Yeah.
they have realized, I think so, because
They are getting some kind of pictures.
the real
Yeah,
practical, the realistic thing
Yeah.
they have realized.
Basically, as a top-bottom approach happened. So the spending is basically a government is doing. It is very difficult to satisfy everyone at the same time.
Exactly.
So it is that's the reason I feel they did a top-bottom approach where spending is happening from the government, and also from a PPP model.
Yes.
Where a lot of capital can be attracted. So this can lead development. So money is flowing, in which development naturally will happen. Only the thing, the vision of the government should be properly materialized. Once it happens, the development can be really good, and it is looking a long-term perspective. It is a very good budget.
Definitely.
Very good
Exactly.
budget. Because
It's a long-term roadmap actually.
Right,
It's not
right,
for a
right.
Sure.
Yeah, he pointed out
Because-
exactly a good point. A PPP model. Government is focusing through PPP and disinvestment plan through generating the revenue. Sajid has pointed out the proposals, fund allocation and all. I just want to point out the revenues through what way the government is able to generate the revenue. Some of the points are there. They are aimed to generate 15,000 crore revenue from PSU stake sales, and also dividend revenue expecting around 27,815 crore. In effect, 43,425
that is the
crore.
total disinvestment target for the
correct.
FY
Total
15.
disinvestment 43,425 crore. Government trying to generate from the market. I think that's a good point. Otherwise, they can't able to allocate these type of fund to various projects like infrastructure, power, irrigation, and all. And I just want to point one more point is that banking industry will get some kind of benefit from this one, because they will allow good amount of loan for infrastructure and manufacturing companies like that. So suddenly banks net interest income will be increased, and as we see, their loan to deposit ratio is much higher when with the economy. So they can't able to give further loan to these sectors. So in this budget, good point is coming through the infrastructure and power. So fund allocation will become, so bank can able to give maximum loan. Through that way, they can able to generate the interest income. So alternatively, bank shares will be
Yes.
reacting, as we can see in the index. Companies like IndusInd Bank, DCB, HDFC Bank is
Even
LIC
even
is
we
starting
talked about the
performance.
Bank Nifty and all in the
Yeah,
morning.
correct. The Bank Nifty
today.
also is performing well. I think
So
a
the
bank-
housing sector which we are discussing
Yeah,
in the session, all have performed.
DLF shop.
Yeah, yeah.
DLF,
Then-
DLF
and
shows
yesterday
that
also we talked about, we discussed about the NBCC.
NBCC, correct.
It has also
right.
performed well.
See, the thing is that as an investor, you have to make sure that exactly it's like sit tight policy, because you should make sure that exactly whether the scripts which you are taking, have enough potential to generate income for you. Like in the case of housing sectors, in the case of manufacturing sectors, in the case of what you call the fertilizers, or in the banking sectors, because it's all about how you allocate your fund. If you don't properly allocate your fund in different
Sectors.
basket, exactly, there itself is like you have a proper portfolio gain, because you cannot expect exactly what is the in-depth analysis which is required for a particular script, but from your as a trader or an investor point of view, you can make sure that exactly these sectors will be get benefited if some kind of allocation is being done, and that is the reason only the top rated stocks or the top stocks has been top sectorial stocks has been doing really well.
Yes.
That is what I'm saying. If any kind of panic which has been happening in the yesterday's market or today market, how well you are positioned. That is what, if you have a good sit tight policy, definitely you are not going to get a worry about the market, because market have already given an indication that it is going to be a bullish, and it is only the sentimental part which is playing in the market. So
Because of a major event.
Exactly. So through this budget itself, it has been a very commendable budget. I think at least for this financial year, because its only thing is that how government is been well positioned to do the execution part.
And going
So-
forward, I think so they can
Yeah, that we
easily
able to
implement
see
all these
I
things.
would say
how
exactly.
they are going to execute. That is a proper
Definitely.
game, because
Because
last
Because
budget
whatever
of-
they have
Yeah.
said in this,
Yeah,
committed
correct.
in this
Yeah.
budget.
But one thing we have to look is only 8 month.
They are-
8 month
they
time
are-
only
Yeah.
they have to.
There is a long way to
propose
go.
Yeah, yeah. I think in
Also, there is another thing, the disinvestment part. Have we discussed the disinvestment part?
No, we are
Before.
just
Disinvestment, the PSU banks, they have decided to disinvest to retail investors basically.
yeah.
This is a good sign actually, because retail, if you disinvest to retail investors, the majority trend is to hold in the stock.
correct.
Yeah.
What
Correct.
happens if they hold on to it, there is going to be a lot of floating stock to
Exactly.
be going to be in a long term mode,
Exactly.
where stocks can be get more more matured.
Exactly.
Also
And
there is a-
usually investors used to hold the banking stocks
Right.
in
Yeah.
their portfolio. Definitely there will be a
We having a huge
set of banking stocks in their portfolio.
Right, right.
I think
Also-
our SIP will get maximum benefit from through this,
Of
right?
course.
Okay, and also this the foreign direct investment, when it comes, government plans to disinvest around 50,000 crores, 40 or 50.
43,000.
For that much
think so.
disinvestment is going to happen from Navaratnas. So when there is going to be a unlock happens, the valuation is going to improve, because when government holds certain companies, the FIIs and all people they don't want to do investment in it, because there are going to be a lot of control in government
Ah,
companies.
mm.
Companies.
When disinvestment happens, what happens? The FIIs and the major investors, they are more interested in such companies.
Yeah.
So when disinvestment happen, value unlock happens, the valuation will improve. At this perspective, I would like to suggest one ETF, CPSE ETF.
CPS ETF.
This one in, because all I was analyzing the entire bucket of this ETF.
But all which all
All
stocks.
the 10 stock in which I feel only the overweight is with
ONGC.
overweight in terms of valuation it is, but the price aspect, Bharat Electronics.
BEL.
This is the only stock
it-
which I
yeah.
feel it is in a up place, but other stocks are really good valuation wise. So disinvestment can lead this CPSE ETF to a better level. It's a very good long term investment model. CPSE with low volatility, and it's a good what I feel, and in which we investor can get dividend as well.
Okay.
When companies get dividend, distribute dividend, CPSE also will declare dividend to investors. It's a good model. Also, one other part is government is planning to put smart cities in place. 100
Exactly.
smart cities they wanted to make place,
Exactly.
and all is going to be a satellite city, not a separate city or remote city. These are going to be satellite city, like city which can support the major cities.
Cities.
That is what satellite cities.
Yeah.
This have got lot of advantage, because Mumbai like place people cannot afford nowadays to have a home or anything. So what is going to happen? Major cities in which the people with wealth and all will stay. The people supporting the city will stay back to the satellite city. The important role government can play by means of transportation. Infrastructure have got lot of role there.
Yes.
When PPP model comes in, it is going to be very easy for government to make infrastructure. So this city, this concept is a good concept. Government's this year allocation is around 7,060 crores for the smart city work. Is a very
I think
appealing
it will
thing.
create some more job opportunity
Right.
in all that.
The finance minister was telling
Exactly.
people want to people have got lot of expectation. They want to move to cities. So when everybody go to city, it become difficult for people to
Congestion.
afford in the cities.
Yes.
Congestion and all these things is going to be difficult.
Here, the good part is that the government was trying to cover all these things. Even they have given more importance to Jammu and Kashmir, and they have given Andaman and Nicobar, Pondicherry. Like
They have
places
given
and
good allocation to the
allocation,
sector which
at least
never
they could-
touched.
Never touched.
Right.
So it shows really, because these all, and not only that exactly. If you talk about the sports area also, the government has given a lot of emphasis, so that at least we represent a country in a much better way outside with the outside nations. So that is also been very good part, because what is that is that he tried to cover every sectors, every aspects of human
Right.
human life.
Also the farm warehouse plan.
Yeah.
We discussed that point.
Yeah,
The
I think
farm warehouse
500
plan where government is putting 500 crores
500
allocation.
crores.
This can lead to the preservation of food
Preservation of
basically.
food basis, yeah.
Now what is happening? Lot of food is getting
That is a basic.
destroyed at the
Basic,
time of
exactly.
harvest itself. Even at Punjab, which is producing most wheat, the majority of the wheats are getting destroyed on weather conditions.
Yes.
If you have got a warehouse
Proper
in
storage
place and
facility.
storage in
Yeah.
place, this can be protected. Basically, government is giving more weightage to the food
That
safety
will lead to the
security.
Yeah.
control
Uh,
inflation and all.
Right. It can make
Food inflation.
better
So that's
effort
what
in
it's like for
inflation
irrigation, as I'm
front.
telling, the 1,000 crores has been allocated for irrigations. Due to bad monsoon condition, exactly how we can develop our
Irrigation equipment, I
exactly.
mean.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like moreover how to bring the inflation down, and RBI cannot take any necessary actions once the inflation has not been controlled.
Yes.
So even if you make any kind of decisions, or probably decisive decision, or productive decisions, only thing is that how you can materialize, because it's all about exactly all countries has been facing this inflation pressure. So ours is all like hanging fruit. So how much better we can go to the ground reality and control the market, so that we essential commodities, how we can have a control on it. So through that exactly, I think in near time exactly we can see a dip in the interest rate.
Definitely,
Which can
RBI also
definitely
will.
bring a growth in the loan sectors. The banks can bring their NPA down, so that exactly the profit, the balance sheet of the banks can also go up. So this is because even though I am not seeing more excise cut on the every
Yes.
aspect, because I know that exactly the corporate has not been benefited out of it, but I think the ground reality has been understood by the market. Market knows what is the ground reality, and the FIIs also knows that exactly. Because I think a standardized process of you know of going the budget would be the right way of looking it, because probably you won't be get more announcement in every sectors, probably the kind of stocks what you have invested not being benefited out of it. But if you go to a standardized approach, a fundamental approach, I think all these the market itself is showing a really good positive energy, which can definitely bring every sectors to the
Yes,
upliftment
that's
start. And if you think the telecom sector is also probably not been highlighted in the budget, but I think a proper broadband services, which the telecom ministers already pointed out in the pre-budget sessions and all, that is actually a proper broadband connectivity, bringing all the telecom sectors into the path of growth. Also, how to spectrum allocations and how to bring down the spectrum cost, so that every sectors will be getting some kind of developments which will definitely bring some kind of value to your scripts. Probably it could it might have show some kind of dip in your script, but I don't think you want to worry about it, because you can do a proper averaging out of it, and probably an SIP mode, which we are always promoting in our portfolios. So you can go through an SIP mode, which will really help you to average or bring your risk appetite in a much better way. That is the point, that is the way you should be looking into the budget. I think it is a really good budget. That is what I am seeing.
I think investors will be getting a good clarity after that.
And those who are holding a fundamentally a good script, they didn't face any steep correction.
Exactly.
In that condition, they can further they can go for a further purchase of the same kind of script. I think companies like
if we conclude, we can say from banking, because PSU banking is a good bet, basically because of disinvestment or whatever we discussed. Then second sector would be housing. Then infrastructure. Then steel,
power,
cement, then power. Definitely. Then defense, because there are going to be a lot of FDA coming in defense. The specific defense manufacturing companies we can be focused.
I think in this budget they are not focused on IT companies, like IT, pharma. There are pharma companies
and manufacturing. Also manufacturing because of excise.
Pharma, I don't
because
think
they increase the excise to the another 6 more months.
Right.
So actually, that
in pharma sector, I don't think
they are not creating pharma sectors, but for the, as I was telling you, there is a skill development technique which is also given in the pharma sectors by the biotechnology kind of thing.
But I am asking about that patent right and all. There is no clarity that.
Which has been given. But I think exactly they have gone for the prioritizing the sectors. That is what the approach they might.
So the sectors, maybe this pharma sector and all maybe is going to get sidelined in the budget, but it is also an essential part of the life. So
it's not a cyclical one.
Even though I don't think that the discretionary product sectors has been avoided, but they are also taken into consideration, because even the more what the government can do, to do a proper budget allocation, so that nobody get outside it from this budget. So that would be a better conclusion.
Anyway, I think
tax purposes.
yes, we have already.
I think we have already discussed about the tax purposes. So I think
some relief for the taxpayers.
On the tax front, exactly, probably 50,000 hike in every area would be really acceptable.
Spending power is increased.
I think this time they will exempt it up to 3 lakh, but it is only.
People were expecting at least.
I was expecting like
3 lakh.
But at least see the good part of Mr. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley is that he tried to cover every part, every level of the community, and not only that, exactly he want to emphasize that exactly the future of the market is good. That is why he wants people to stay invested in the market. By even if you talk about the mutual fund industries also, he tried to move to 3 years, which is for the 1 year, but he want to make it to 3 years for the tax exception, for the lack of tax exception. So there also he want to emphasize that you people stay invested with the with the scripts, so that in future all the the scripts will be benefited, and we want more retail participation. I think it is high time for that. Exactly, those who have not participated so also join hand with the market, so that they'll get a clear idea about.
I think
about
regarding
what
the STT and capital, we don't have any
we don't have-
We didn't
clarity.
get
we don't
much
have
clarity.
clarity.
And he's
But
tell
they
that
want to remain the same.
some clarity might be there in uniform KYC norms for the entire financial sector he has introduced. And also introduce a DMAT for all, single DMAT for all financial transactions.
Okay,
That's
okay,
also
okay.
be a good point.
Single documentation process.
Yeah, correct.
That's a good thing actually.
If you have a KYC in place, you can have any account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need
correct,
to
correct.
have a separate KYC.
Separate,
KYC,
yeah.
Demat account, even this insurance has been
It's also put into DMAT.
put into
Yeah,
demand.
correct, correct.
Only impact given to mutual fund for its capital gain.
It has increased to 20%.
10 to 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
From 12 months to 36 months.
Right.
That is only what it has.
Anyway, I don't think any negative surprises in this budget.
The budget, yeah.
Overall.
We just want to say that don't politicize it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
correct.
Because there is no point in politicizing. because
Yeah,
what the
exactly.
UPA too has
It is
done,
not
or
a
what is the-
populist budget.
Because we have been hearing the
in the media
channels.
that exactly it has been politicizing. So there is no point of arguing that exactly whether to politicize or not, because by the end of the day, whether it is bring some kind of saving for a Aam Aadmi kind of people, whether it is bringing some kind of benefit, whether he can keep away 3 rupees apart from his 10 rupees total gain,
Yeah,
that is
that's
what
a good-
exactly we should be looking forward. I think we
If
are
not today,
exactly-
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Fine.
Yes.
That is what
that is the
that is
best
what
part
it
of
is.
looking the budget.
Okay, we will stop for the time being, and we will have a detailed session in the next one.
After this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.